Intervention, you belong here. The Middellandstraat. The Middellandstraat was designed in 1887 by Gerrit de Jong. The street is multicultural and has many different shops. In fact, it's one of the biggest multicultural streets within Rotterdam. The amount of people that live here is estimated around 11,000 people. The first thing I noticed when I was in the Middellandstraat was the gloomy street, and a lot of people were looking quite grumpy and serious. What was my goal with my intervention? I wanted to turn those grumpy faces into happy faces, and I also wanted to make the people feel like they belonged there and by creating a comfort zone. What was causing the gloomy feeling in the street? Less sun exposure can have an impact on people's moods since it leads to less vitamin D, which leads to a change in the serotonin levels in the brain. Lower levels of the hormone can correspond with depression-like symptoms, since serotonin plays an important role in regulating the mood. So the less sun exposure, the lower your vitamin D and the lower your serotonin levels will be. By making people smile. A smile can produce a chemical in our bodies called endorphins, which releases stress and stimulates the feeling of well-being. How was I going to make these people smile? By implementing color into the environment and by creating a community ground, by making the streets a cozier place for the people within the Middellandstraat and for them to be able to gather together. That I am able to create a community ground, that I can lighten up the streets by implementing color, and that I can make people happy and make them smile with my intervention. Anyone can join the intervention. The location has to be spacious enough for people to feel free to draw, and it also has to be easily accessible for the people. That's why I chose Teen Plan 7. This was the end result. With this intervention, I can conclude that people left generic messages like smile, have a nice day, happy new year, etc. Drawing is a great tool to communicate. It can be done by anyone at any time and anywhere. And I also noticed that people were enjoying this intervention more. Nostalgia had hit me. I saw kids play ball on my street and it took me back to the days when I was a kid. When I was small, I used to draw a lot with chalk on the streets. I didn't really have any boundaries of how I had to act inside or outside. The streets were almost like my second home that I used as my canvas. With the chalk intervention, I asked people to draw home objects. By letting people implement a piece of home, they were creating a new home in an outside environment of their community. They are able to make the street feel like it's their own by bringing freedom and creativity. My goal is to bring joy into the streets. This color is psychologically the happiest color in the color spectrum. Green symbolizes nature and is closely linked to the environment. The peaceful color of the sky and the ocean. The powerful color which represents love. How can I improve my intervention? A portable 2x4 meter wall on wheels will allow me to change my location easier. I can go to a better location and attract more people than I previously had to draw on my wall. Plus, a sign is very welcoming and confirmative. This is how my intervention would have looked like if I had moved from my previous location by using my portable wall and welcoming sign.